Some people have seen where God has brought you from. You don't really understand it. They don't know your story.
You don't know my story. You don't know
the things.
You don't know the things that I've come through. You cannot imagine. Pain, the trials I've had to get. You don't know my story. You don't know the days
I was at my lowest point.
You cannot imagine the strongholds and the walls that sever. But God has been faithful. God has been faithful to me. He promised He would never leave. My story proves that God.
A part of life is trials and tribulations. And it starts from birth, from where you're born. And the people who raise you are the ones who protect you. So if you're born sheltered by your entire family, the hardships of life don't hit you hard. Sometimes it don't hit you at all. And you don't really realize how hard life is until adulthood. But some of us wasn't so fortunate. Some of us was born to parents who had a hard time living life because of maybe past child abuse, mental illness, and in my case, both of my parents experienced both. So I wasn't protected by them per se in a way that a child should be. But even though your parents' illness or your parents' inability to cope with life may make it hard for you, but the amazing thing about God is that He knows us. He knows each and every last one of us. So even though your parents passed abuse or mental illness that makes it hard for them to cope in life, it makes it hard for them to protect their children, it makes it hard for them to raise their children, God never forsake you. So even though your parents' inability to take care of you may have left you abandoned, it's not so much so because God steps in. So although my parents wasn't able to give me the life that I would have wanted or I thought I wanted as a child, God removed me and placed me with others, like other family members, the foster system that had people who had the ability to shelter you, to nurture you, and to protect you. So, although the trials and tribulations that we encounter very young, as children, as babies, we sometimes feel as though we got the short end of the stick. But to my surprise, what I'm learning now is there was no short end of the stick. God kept his promise. If for any reason your parents can't take care of you or your caregivers can't take care of you, God shows up. He never forsake you. And he put you in a position to where you're not broken completely, that you can't get up, that you can't move on in life. In fact, those trials and tribulations is what build you. The parents that God give you is what you needed in your case, because of what he's going to use you for later in life. Some people have to go through the hardships early so that you have the strength to carry out the purpose that God had for you. In my case, both my mom and father suffer from mental illness, which caused me to, of course, experience physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. But those things didn't break me at all. It actually prepared me for the world. Because now, even in adulthood, the world is so much more wicked, so much more evil. And because I've already experienced hardship in life, I'm prepared for the world, because I know that life is not a fairy tale. I know the evil in life. I know that the only person you can trust is God. So yes, it stings when you have a relationship, a spouse, friendships, and it doesn't work out. You experience betrayal. You experience abuse from complete strangers. You experience people lying on you. You experience people trying to make it hard for you in life. But because you already experienced those things, no matter what the devil throws at you by using people, it never works, because God already prepared you by giving you the parents, the family, and friends in the beginning of your life as a child. In Psalms, verse 27:10, it states, "When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up." As children, our parents are our superheroes. And we can't understand as a child, when your family or your parents can't take care of you, you can't comprehend why. So it's easy to put the blame on yourself. It's easy to feel as though you got the short end of the stick in life. As a child, you think as a child. But as you get older and you get closer to God, you realize that it's all God's plan. And it's able or make it easier for you to forgive your parents. Although you may have to love them from a distance to protect your own self, your own sanity, you're able to forgive them. And then you're able to forgive yourself for wanting to give up on yourself. You learn how to love yourself. And you learn how to love God even more for never forsaking you. Man, do I have a lot of time to make it up to myself. I'm going to definitely make a good life for that little girl inside of me, for me. And I want to use my testimony to help others. Ain't God good?